and now we are moving to our next, the first actually panel of today's event that is titled An Insight into EU Green and Circular Recovery. In this particular session, we will address exactly these 3 points: abundance, participation, and pragmatism, with our speakers, Freek van Eijk, Managing Director, Holland Circular Hotspot, and Vice Chairman of the Board of Circular Biobased Delta; Ian Gollant, Chief Executive Zero Waste Scotland, President of the Association of Cities and Regions for Sustainable Resource Management, and a member of Scottish Government Strategic Groups. Then we will have a special guest, a video by Nick Bridge, Foreign Secretary, COP26, and a special representative for climate change, Foreign and Commonwealth Office. And we will conclude with Barna Kovac, Secretary General at BioEast Initiative, Consular at the Permanent Representation of Hungary in the European Union. So we are welcoming you now in this first plenary session, starting with Freek van Eijk and the story that is very pragmatic and that has brought a lot of results. This is a circular hotspot, the Holland Circular Hotspot, and the members under this umbrella. Freek, please join us.
Thank you, Nadeja. I'm honored and humbled to be able to present here for you. Let me share screen with you. There we go. Now let me share some of the highlights of the travel the Netherlands paper. Let us bring back to the momentum we have today. It's actually COVID-19. We just created momentum. We've been hit hard like many other countries. If I look at the forecast from just a week ago, you will see that our unemployment will double for this year, and it's likely to triple if we get a second wave. Our GDP was quite positive, it will drop to 5% and maybe 6% of GDP. But yet, despite this, let's say, negative surroundings which we have, there is also a very strong pull that we should come out greener, we should build back better. Lots of Dutch leading industry have said, hey, this is the momentum, we should really change the system. It's not only talking, also companies like Shell, with a low oil price and with COVID-19 still we have a bigger climate ambition. We then increased their circular economy ambitions. They said that we should really embrace the Green Deal, incorporate SDGs. So I think this is something special. And looking at this momentum, I think COVID-19 is a wake-up call. This is just the beginning. After the, let's say, COVID-19 impact, we will talk about the impact of the recession and the impact of climate change, which, whatever we do, I think the impact will still be significant and subtle. Something we really have to prepare for. And let alone a larger biodiversity loss which might be on the horizon. We're also very lucky. Look at the European New Deal. We are an old continent that has to reinvent itself, constantly without national resources. But they have this ambition and they have the size to scale up. We want to be climate neutral by 2050. There are lots of initiatives to make this happen. This is very good news for all the individual states within Europe that we have this framework to follow and give us size and opportunities. It's about job creation. The circular economy is very essential in this circular economy, in this European Green Deal, because it brings us lots of action from the beginning of the value chain to the end. It's also not only about waste, it's also changing.
Freek, sorry, just a time out. Freek, can you hear me? Yes, can you just share the screen, like full screen? Because now we have the opportunity to see all slides and not only the one that you're presenting. This is the technical issue. So just to focus more on that, what you are sharing with us. Yeah? Okay, it looks better now. Thank you very much. Yes, because we would like to be surprised a little bit and not to know everything in advance. Thank you.
Right.
The screen is yours again. Yeah. Thank you.
So the good news about the European Circular Action Plan is that it's not only about waste, it's about the whole value chain. Like, for instance, changing the way we make and consume products. It's about design and so we define basically 80% of the environmental footprint. It's also about focus, key value chains, from electronics to packaging to textiles. And yes, waste is a good starting point, but it's the last course of action in the circular economy. But less waste and more value. It's about people. Over 4 million people are employed by circular economy actions today. That has to grow. That is for people locally, regionally, in cities. And of course, there are lots of horizontal issues. We want to be climate neutral. Probably slightly 50% of all, let's say, greenhouse gas impact comes from, let's say, the way we make products. And half of that we can take away by going circular. So establishing a link between circular economy and climate is extremely important. It's also about getting economics right. It is not only about sustainability, it's circular economy, it's about economy, new inspiration, top down and bottom up. And it's also about showing the way as Europe, leading global efforts, global plastic tax, for instance, resource agreements, new trade agreements, new policy is part of it. And if you want to manage something, you have to measure it. It's also about monitoring. Now, in all this, I think the Dutch always try to be a front runner on these topics. Actually, it comes from our history. We are a very vulnerable delta. We have to work together since the middle ages to keep our feet dry. We are just to be collaborative and innovative. And I think for us, our journey to be circular started in 2016. That's when the Dutch were sharing the European Union. And then we invited lots of foreigners for the first circular economy mission ever. And actually, the foreigners, they showed it to me, they said, hey, what you guys are doing is really special. We're not just talking about circular economy, you're doing it. That opened a little bit their eyes and said, hey, this is special, this is not normal. And combined with the, let's say, influence of multinationals and startups, we embraced this tremendous circular economy ambition to be fully circular in 2050. So 10 years from now, we will have half the use of non-renewable materials compared to today. So that's massive. So we started in 2016, we made a raw materials agreement with lots of stakeholders. We had our focus areas, transition agendas, as we call them. We had it endorsed by our government. And now we have implementation programs, with goals, milestones, leaders, resources, and coordination. And actually this year we also measured where we stand. The good news is we are 24.5% circular. Bad news is 3/4 are not reached yet. And what's especially nice, I think, about the Dutch policy is that it's not only a moonshot, fully circular in 2050, it's also focused on priority sectors. So biomass fuel, plastics, manufacturing, constructions, etc. With a moonshot, focus areas are not need to keep the system. So it's fostering legislation and regulation. The carrot and the stick market incentives. It's providing access to finance for these few startup initiatives which probably have a higher upfront cost and a better total cost of ownership. It's about behavior change, how you rely to separate our waste and how we consume. It's about new initiatives for research and development, and it's about international collaboration. The last thing actually is what we do, it's not circular also. We reach out at the international level and want to make circular economy happen. We do that by sharing best practices from business. We do that by sharing the facts and figures and insights, the tools for the Knowledge Institute, and by the hard-earned lessons from our government. What we learned over 150 years of working right now. And together we want to create, let's say, mutual, win-win solutions, which have a major impact on the societal groups. Now, what's quite unique about Holland Circular Hotspot is that we really collaborate closely with our government. We are a private foundation. We're very entrepreneurial. For us, the week is long. For our government, maybe a month is very short. So we bring in connections to companies and for the healthy patients. But the government has access to a huge network. They can help to set priorities for internationalization, we provide funding to activities, and together we set out missions, make special reports about the link between circular economy and climate change, between circular economy and SDGs, deeper knowledge about certain market values. We provide access to public instruments. So this collaboration is very important in the system. Nobody can do it alone. Now, and if I look at the circular change and all circular hotspot, I think we're both trying to do our best to be front runners. We use momentum to build the network. Circular change to the national leadership of the European the circular economy stakeholder platform, with all the activities which are happening there. I think that we have a European Green Deal. I think you are a big part in that as well. We as Holland Circular Hotspot, we started bottom down, creating all kinds of collaborations. We knew that we can't do it alone. We started working all over the world to help bring new apps, new hotspots. In Europe, there are quite a lot, but also outside Europe, because the momentum is there. And then when I look to 2021 as a window, and said, for us, the presidency was a turning point in our circular economy policy. I think you should try to get the same as Slovenia. Show the world what you're doing, the progress you've made. Maybe it's time for your own circularity gap report. You can measure where you are, where the opportunities are. So it's milestones and ambitions, organize that, let's say, it gets a place in governmental funding, that it gets a place in regional company roadmaps and budgets, and continue to collaborate internationally. I think the economy of Slovenia is very much linked with its neighbors. So confirm your place in the regional circular economy hotspot, which you are. It also helps to give circular economy a face. We are very lucky in Holland. We have a king who addresses the United Nations in New York and talks about circular economy. Our Prime Minister, Mark Rutte, is introducing circular economy. Sometimes he introduces us. It's the way we work around, but it creates momentum. And we refurbish, we manufacture, and we repurpose. And in the end, as I say, in the end, it's about recycling and recovery. It's like a transition. You can start with waste management and resources, but if you stay there, you will lose out again. You will be in platform mode. So you have to keep moving and developing. Learn fast and fail fast. Now, by just talking is a lot, but let me show you that lots of things are happening today in various market segments, and which could be a huge post-COVID-19 recovery action. We start with manufacturing. You've seen that many value chains have been interrupted. Lots of countries focus, like the Netherlands, on semi-finished products and are depending on each other, and we have to close the loop for everything. Well, Philips Healthcare, for instance, is remanufacturing medical scanners. The healthcare market is expected to get a tremendous boost. And what they do, they keep vital parts in the chain, refurbish them, and with full warranty, they bring them back in the value chain, which is very sensitive, and the material is already there. Signify, the former Philips, provides light as a service. They don't sell lamps anymore. But if you provide light as a service, then it's all about modular design, upgradability, disassembly, easy to maintain, and about recycling. And we keep the materials in the groups as long as possible, and creating new business models in the flow. Also something closer to home. AHREND is shaping the future of work. They, let's say, refurbish office furniture. And now lots of companies are providing office furniture for their employees. They don't have supply chain issues because they refurbish already existing furniture, which are there. And they get a huge push now during COVID-19. Now, let's look at plastics. And the whole world is looking by plastics. It's a fantastic material, yet a tremendous waste problem. You can do work on the legacy part of plastics, getting it out of the rivers by the interceptor from the ocean cleanup, or by a bubble barrier screen, which is water, let's say a bubble screen in the water which pushes the plastics to the side. We talk a lot about recyclability, but something is only, let's say, recyclable if it's collected, if it's sorted, recycled, and applied. You miss one of those parts, and then we're not there. You need all in place. So it's also about making the qualities that industry actually need. So only then you can make a baby stroller like Green Tom does in the Netherlands. Safe materials and almost full recyclability. And the same is true for the bottle of Danone and Veolia in Indonesia. You need quality material to do this. And the good news is that actually we can recycle already 50% of packaging today. The bad news is that we can only recycle 50% of packaging today. So we need new innovations like chemical recycling, which is a vast array of new technologies which are still in the piloting phase, but are very promising and offer to scale up because the chemical industry can get involved. But of course, recycling is nice, but it's end of value chain. If you recycle, we're talking just about the material fraction, but you want the whole functionality, which is far more valuable. And that's why things like Loop are so incredibly interesting, reaching out to us consumers as well.
if you can reuse a packaging, it's much better than to recycle it. Finally, food, something very close to us. Here in the Netherlands, we see that people after quarantine are far more appreciating for healthy food, for good food, and more aware of the value chains. So it's a huge possibility to start here as well. Think about non-animal based proteins from, for instance, from insects, which can be used for fish feed. It's about the vegetarian butcher. I love this picture, by the way. It's also there's 8% growth in, let's say, organic food and let's say biological food and non-meat-based products. Rescuing food in a supermarket, food which cannot be sold anymore at the expiry date, is perfect for pastas or soups. So lots and lots of examples are happening today. They're happening in the Netherlands, they're happening in Ghana, they're happening in Vietnam. So it can happen everywhere. Front-running businesses are embracing it, and it's an opportunity. It's about future markets, and I think we can do it, but we need to scale up fast. Remember this picture about, let's say, the waves and the climate wave coming at us? We need to innovate and scale up fast, and businesses can't do it alone. We need everybody on board, and I believe like circular economy hubs, like Circular Change in Holland, Circular Hotspot, and Zero Waste Scotland, they can really be a catalyst for circular development. So I hope we have the chance that we collaborate together. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Freek. It was super inspiring, as always. And what we have learned already from you, the Netherlands, in those past years is how you can actually very successfully connect business and the circular economy, because this is economic model that is serving businesses to be competitive, to maintain their role on the market. So maybe here, if we relate it to Slovenia, because we are now collaborating for 5 years. So what would you say in the Netherlands during your presidency? You have promoted circular economy very much as one of your priorities, and after that it became a part of economic diplomacy. So what would be your advice to us here in Slovenia, now taking over the presidency in 2021, how to embed this more into our activities on the market through the diplomatic channels?
Okay, let me first say why the Dutch thought that was very much important. First, in the Netherlands, it started with the multinationals. They were forward-looking. R&D takes you 1 or 2 years. Then you need to permit for 1 year. Then you need to build a plant for another 1 or 2 years. And then this plant is 30 years in operation. So you have to be forward-looking to know that your opportunities in the future, let's say, are very much dependent on what you do today. And the future will be different. There will be a carbon price. There will be more resource stress. So circular economy makes sense. The Dutch government also realized that we are very much an export-driven country. So we can make a perfect circular island of the Netherlands, but if, let's say, the rest of the world goes down the drain, it doesn't help us. So we have to reach out, we have to make the whole world circular. And our value chains are international. So reaching out to the countries where you're dependent on makes very much sense. And then, the Dutch are slightly commercial. The first movers can have the biggest market opportunities. So if you're a first mover, you have the biggest market opportunities. So that would be a very quick answer. The Dutch are pragmatic, learn fast, fail fast, look for opportunities. Don't wait till you have a perfect market conditions and everything works fine, because then you'll probably be too late. So you have to take action. And I think also the economy of Slovenia is very much connected to certainly the neighboring countries. So it would make very much sense as well for them to reach out and bring the world to Slovenia and reach out internationally. And like you are Circular Change are already doing, but now you have to do it as the whole country, with the government, with the companies, with the Knowledge Institute. Is that something you can work with, Ladea?
And being a part of Holland Circular Hotspot Network is really something what is encouraging us on this journey, I must say. And yes, in the future, there are so many opportunities right now with the green recovery to think about it, how to invest money, not how to spend it. And we see also circular change here in the Western Balkans as a kind of the anchor around which we can really work and to connect the Netherlands and your practices resources, your knowledge, expertise with the region. So as we both know, we are doing that right now in Latin America successfully. Why not doing this here in our home base? So looking forward to that. And thank you, Freek, very much for your intervention. And our joint journey will continue. Thank you very much.